it is Toby here, back for another brand new video on the channel. And in the last video, we smashed a bench PR. First bench PR I think I've actually caught on camera in an actual video format, which has been absolutely amazing. And today we're going to try and do the same with a squat. We are going to try and get a 200 kilo squat to good depth. My best squat ever is 205 kilo to slightly questionable depth. And I did that when I was 105 kilo myself. I am now down at 97-ish kilo. So getting it 200 down for good depth should be a brilliant achievement for me today. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump into the plan and what we're going to do, and then we'll jump into some squatting. So today it's going to be a pretty brutally heavy leg day. We're going to start obviously with the 1 rep max on the squat. We're going to just do 20 kilo jumps, keep going up and up until it gets too heavy for me to do. So we're going to try and go for a really heavy single, and then we're going to move on to my favorite assistance exercise for the squat, which is the deficit trap bar deadlift. Low handles on a deficit, really getting yourself low down there. A lot of leg drive, really helps with the deadlift actually, getting all that leg drive work. We're going to do 8 sets of 1, pretty heavy on that, which again is just going to be high weight, low rep, pretty intense. And then obviously moving on to glute bridges and stuff like that if I have enough space to do them in this bedroom. Otherwise we will replace them with another exercise. And then some assistance exercises to finish off, which I may or may not show you depending on how long the first half of the session takes. So without further ado, we're going to jump into squatting. I've got some pre-workout. The pre-workout I use is the Myoband Hot Shot pre-workout. If you would like to get that for yourself, go to the link in the description below and use code TobyLively1 for 10% off. Helps me out a bit and also gets money off for you guys, so it's absolutely worth doing. And yeah, it's definitely a very good pre-workout. You've seen I've set quite a few PRs on it, so very happy. But without further ado, I'm going to stop rambling and I'm going to jump straight in to squatting. happy with that. That moved quite well. Didn't stop. It was a little bit of a slower rep. Didn't quite set my feet wide enough. So the depth could have been better, but it was better than I've ever squatted 200 with before. So I'm going to take it. It's a good depth for me. I'm a strong man. I don't really focus on getting that hip crease below my knee level. I just try and get to parallel. And to me, that was pretty parallel. Like, as I said, the best I've ever squatted 200 for to depth anyway. So very happy with that. What I'm going to do now is my actual like squat PR, as I said, is 205. But that was to shoddy depth. Definitely not parallel, probably about an inch off of parallel. So I'm going to put on 5 more kilos and see if I can get 205 to better depth, because then I will have caught up to my actual PR and got it to depth. And also, I'm so much lighter than when I did that. I was, as I said, like 105 kilo when I did the 205 to shoddy depth. So the fact I'm getting 200 to decent depth at a body weight of 97 kilos, a lot lighter, I'm very happy with that. So yeah, I couldn't be happier with that. Very happy to move on and try 205. Well, I am happy with that. It was a bit of a grind, but that depth, you cannot argue with that depth. For me, that is insane depth, and it is perfect, and it absolutely counts as my new PR. I'm so happy that at a body weight of nearly 10 kilo lighter than when I got this PR in the first place, that I was able to get it to better depth, better form. Yes, I fell forward a little bit. I know that. That is something I'm also working on. On the lighter weights, that doesn't happen. But when I get heavier, I fall slightly forward. But I was able to grind through the sticking point, get it up. I feel great. That felt amazing. I'm super happy, as you could probably tell. What a PR. I'm so happy with that. I was really expecting to bottom out on that one. Thought I'd try it just because I felt good on the 200, and I slightly set my feet wrong on the 200, so I didn't get quite as good depth. This one I set my feet perfectly, and you can see it showed. It absolutely showed. I'm so happy with that. I am absolutely just over the moon. 2 PRs in a week, and they've been 2 PRs I've been wanting back for a long time. So very happy with that. Very happy indeed. So let's move on to my favorite accessory exercise for the squat now. So what we are moving on to next, as I said, is the deficit trap bar deadlift. I do this with a low handle and stood on an inch of about plates, so it gets me a bit lower down. That really focuses on the leg drive part of the trap bar deadlift. It does a lot more of the legs and the glutes, which is very important for obviously both squatting and deadlifting. Really targets, the glutes and the hamstrings. And then the back doesn't really get too fatigued, I found, with these. So perfect to do on leg day for me. And it's just one of my favourite exercises to do because you can go quite heavy with it. So what I've done is I've got 180 loaded up on the trap bar here. Obviously, I'm not just diving straight in at 180. I have done warm-up sets now. It's very important to make sure you're warm and working up to weights that are good for you. So, yeah, I'm just going to show you the top sets here. As I said, 8 sets of 1. Very low rest period. So it's almost more like 1 set of 8, but each rep you have a maximum of 1 minute between. So whenever I feel ready in that minute, I just go, and you get the whole set done in less than 15 minutes is the plan. So yeah, very quick, very easy, very rapid fire. Really just firing off the hamstrings and glutes and finishing them off after squats with another heavy movement that's not as heavy as the main movement, the main compound. So yeah, I'm just going to fire through it in montage style, show you every single rep I do. So let's jump into that. there we go, that's them done. They felt very explosive, very good, very easy. My glutes and hamstrings were on fire. My lower back doesn't hurt at all, so that's all good. Means my technique was good and it felt good. So what we're going to move on to next is we're going to do glute bridges. I always do glute bridges, weighted glute bridges, that is, straight after I do these trap bar, just to finish off the glutes completely. Obviously, the glutes are an incredibly important part of deadlift and squat. So for deadlift, it's exactly what fires into the lockout. You wedge your glutes through, and squat, you all know, it really does toast your glutes. You need to keep your glutes clenched on pretty much every lift, overhead especially. A lot of people forget to do that. So by doing weighted glute bridges, it really, really does teach you to clench those glutes and explode through like you would in a lockout for a deadlift. So I'm going to be doing some of them. I'm not going to film them because they're a really awkward exercise to film and it's just not possible in this bedroom. Obviously, because you're lying on the floor with the bar across your stomach. I don't have anywhere I can really film the floor from. So I have tried in the past, it's not going to work. So I'm going to get them done, rejoin you afterwards and tell you exactly how they felt and how easy and what sort of weight I did. So the reason why those are so hard to film is because the floor space I have is not a lot. So I have to lie with my head under the bed in order to be able to do them. So obviously that's really not a good filming angle, but I did my 3 sets of 6. I did 120 kilo, 3 sets of 6. Really nice and easily. Should be upping the weight next week on those. But felt good, felt decent. So now it's moving on to a couple of assistance exercises, which I'll go into detail in the next clip. So my legs are pretty battered now, so there's been no real point in going and doing another heavy like barbell exercise like a good morning or a box squat or a leg press or anything like that. Yeah, my legs from the glutes and the hamstrings really, really fried, absolutely, but basically buggered after doing obviously a squat PR, some trap bar deadlifts that were pretty heavy and then finishing them off with the glute bridges there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what I'd usually do is back at the home garage gym I would have done leg extensions on the little machine. Don't have that as an option today, so I'm just going to do some box step ups and then some broad jumps in the garden, then go for a little walk to the shop and back, just, you know, to keep the blood moving and stuff as my little finishers. They're not very interesting, just me jumping about and stepping onto a bench, so probably not going to include them in this video. But just thought I'd let you know what I'm going to do. I feel like this video I should leave about the squat PR and honestly just an incredible job I've done there. So I'll jump into the next clip where I'll go into a little more detail about the end of the session and then do an outro as well. So session over. Very, very good session today. Very happy with the squat PR that I got. 205 to that depth for me is an insane PR. Really wasn't expecting to get it today. I wanted 200 to good depth, but it felt so good that I went for 205 and yeah, it just went up. And for me to get like that after doing 200 just before, if I had warmed up properly and like warmed up to prepare for a new PR, I probably could have got 210 up, which is good to know for the end of the next cycle. Obviously the next 6-week cycle of the program, I can now work up to 210 and get that properly. So that'll be really nice to look forward to. But yeah, really happy with that. Obviously, my squat form and stuff has got a lot better. I did a video about my squat form and how the 3 cues that made my squat form a lot better and my depth a lot better. So if you want to find that, I'll link that in the cards right about now for you guys to go and watch. It really did help me with my squat, and I'm sure it'll help you guys out quite a lot. So let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed the video and if this sort of helped, especially linking that video there. Obviously, this video is a bit more about me, not really about the educational side of it, just getting a new PR, doing some good training. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. As I said, always let me know in the comments below. If you have any advice on my form or any exercises I'm doing or anything like that, also please leave it in the comment below. Don't just hate, just do it as constructive criticism and I'll listen to it. It's very good. Obviously, I know that I fell forward a bit in the squat, that I didn't stay quite as upright as I wanted to. That is something I'm aware of. So feel free not to let me know that in the comments. But anything else you think that you can see, just let me know. And of course, if you made it this far in the video and you haven't considered subscribing, I don't know why not, because this is honestly a great channel, if I do say so myself. I upload training every week at least. I upload 1 training video, sometimes 2. So really good stuff for you guys to watch. Of course, if you like the video, please leave a like down below because it really does help boost the channel. But anyway, I've been Toby. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.